You are watching the Atlanta Braves Fan Show on Fan Media Network. Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Siegel, joined alongside with Gardie Hearn. Gardie, the calendar is flipped to May. Might not look it outside our windows or feel like it outside our windows or in any ballpark. Yeah, pack a jacket, wear a nice hoodie. But it is May baseball, so we are now 1 month into the baseball season, 1 month into all the new rules, 1 month into Braves baseball. So let's kind of dive right into the quick recap of the month of April. The Braves 19-10, good for first place in the National League East, 3 games ahead of the Miami Marlins and the New York Mets. Yes, you did hear that correctly, folks. The Miami Marlins tied for second place in the NL East after the month of May. If I were to tell you the Miami Marlins are second in the NL East, the Pittsburgh Pirates are first in the NL Central, and the New York Yankees are in last place in the AL East, I hope you'd call me a liar. But that's where we are in this 2023 baseball season.
Didn't have that on my bingo card, Rye.
I know I didn't. And clearly you didn't.
Nope.
I don't think anybody did. But
nope.
I digress. That's what we're here for, and that's what we're here to talk about. So the Braves 19-10, picking up a series win against the New York Mets, taking 2 out of 3. It was supposed to be I guess, kind of a hodgepodge of 4 games, but 2 games got postponed, so they played a doubleheader. There is a reschedule. There is going to be a reschedule for one of them at a later date. But the Braves did pick up 2 out of 3 against the New York Mets, currently playing the Miami Marlins tonight in Miami. And currently up 1-0. As of last looking, before we recorded this, it was 1-0 in the bottom of the second. However, we're going to kind of dive into the last series. I know we are stacking these shows pretty close together. And I think the biggest story is Ronald Acuna Jr. getting hit in the shoulder by journeyman Mets pitcher Tyler McGill. Meagle. Good luck. God bless on the pronunciation. Listed as day-to-day, however, back in the lineup tonight. But Gardie, we're talking about months of April, and I know you're the stat guy over there. So why don't you hit us with some numbers at 29 games into the season, 1 month in first place.
1 month in first place. That's a great place to be. I think this is actually what we've been doing. This is year 3. Look at that. This is
1, 2.
the most consistent thing we've ever done in our life, right? But this is the first time entering May after a full month in that we've been in first place. We have never been here, which is great. We're doing what we need to do, which is winning series against poor teams.
Gardie, they're finally listening to us. They're finally listening to us. They're finally listening.
Finally. I don't know if Bloopy, I don't know how many times I've DM'd Bloopy on Twitter and he just hasn't responded, but maybe I just got to start sending him this show and just be like, hey, Bloopy, play this in the clubhouse. Because I have some choice words to say about certain players later on in the program, but we'll get there. Ronald Acuna Jr., after, an attempted murder on his life by that journeyman from that BS club, that second club in New York, he's having a phenomenal start to the season. As we talked about last 2 episodes so far this season, he's looking like Acuna Jr. of old pre-ACL tear, which it makes sense. He's had now a full year and a half over to heal from this injury. He's hitting .363, which is 3rd in the MLB after a month. 3rd in the MLB in batting average. He has 13 stolen bases. Look at that. He's got his pop bat. Thank goodness we figured out arthroscopic surgery because, think about if Mickey Mantle had the technology we have today. He's got 26 runs. He's gone around the diamond more than anybody else in the major leagues. He's got a .450 OBP. And he has 46 hits, which is second in the major leagues. He's just playing great baseball offensively. His defense is great. He looks like he's having fun. I mean, he's a guy that there's a reason why we talked about him so much for so long and why he got the contract that he did. And unlike our friend Fernando Tatis Jr. in San Diego, he actually knows how to play and how to respond to a big contract. I mean, Ryan, I think there are a couple other people we should be talking about here. Ozzy Albies, one of them. We clowned on him a little bit. First episode of this year. Second episode, he proved us wrong. He was listening to us, 222. We've moved up to 244. I mean, it feels good that they're listening to us, Ryan.
Yeah, it's about freaking time is all I can say is about freaking time. However, one guy, even I think Marcell Ozuna starting to listen to us. was hitting .085, now triple digits for Marcell Ozuna. He is hitting half of his weight at 100 even going into tonight's game. But Gardie, it's not only just the hitting that they're getting from everybody, and they have such a young core, and we keep talking about the young core and the young core. Spencer Strider is turning into an all-star pitcher for somebody, and to give that 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation with Max Fried, that's a guy that you want to have at the top of your rotation. And I think that the 1-2 punch of Fried and Strider is really game-changing. And Gardie, he's leading the league in strikeouts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes, Ozuna still has a better average against his wife. But what we can talk about more is the fact that the Braves are actually, they've fully done what have always made the Braves successful. They have these blue chip hitters at traditional hitting spots, a first base, a right field, a catching position. And now it looks like they really have found another solid set of starting pitchers. I mean, think about what they did in the 90s, what they did in the 60s. I feel like, Ryan, I don't know if I'm wrong about this, correct me if I am, but the majority of people, when they think about the Braves organization, whether it is in Milwaukee, Atlanta, or Boston, the main person they think about is Hammer and Hank Aaron, which valid, but I think the Braves also have this phenomenally rich history when it comes to a starting pitching staff. And it looks like Spencer Strider is just another guy who's following up in those footsteps.
Yeah, you have to think about the team. They were the team of the 90s up until the Yankees in the late 90s. Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz. Last time I checked, there's a town in New York that all three of them are in. Gardie, you know what upstate New Cooperstown?
Yeah, I know what it is because my parents never took me.
But again, three guys in Cooperstown, and it's again a organization of rich history. You look at Max Fried, 4 games pitched, a .45 ERA. 0.45. That is absurd. Bryce Elder, where did he come from? 2.1 ERA in 6 games starting. Spencer Strider, obviously leading the league. There is not, they're in your top 3 of Elder, Fried, and Strider. Not one of them has a loss on the season thus far. And I know I just announcers jinxed all 3 of them. So if they have a bad month of May, I apologize, Braves Nation. But all 3 of them do not have a loss in their starts. They have a couple no decisions, but Max Fried is 2-0 in 4 starts. Bryce Elder is 2-0 in 6 starts. Spencer Strider is 4-0 in 6 starts. All of them with ERAs around 250 or less.
Yeah, but right. I'm going to cut you off here because this entire diatribe about pitchers that we've been on, there's a key word in front of pitcher that has been there. It's not relief, it's starter. Let's talk about our relief pitchers, because just like I have some issues with certain people, who hit the ball, I have once again proven me right. Yes, it's only been 4 days. 4 days, small span, but 3 games played in between then and now. And who continues to do what he does best?
Aren't we a truther show on him?
We are a truther show. Let's hashtag it. When you upload this to YouTube, Ryan, put a little hashtag AJ Minter Truther.
Hashtag done. Got it.
Oh, I mean, look at this. Okay, so you're right. Supposed to be a 4-game series against the Mets. We had to play that doubleheader. First game of the doubleheader. Thank goodness they actually play 9 innings still. Now they got rid of that 7-inning garbage. Hated that. Top of the 9th. I don't know if you've been to this picture before. I have.
Paint me a word picture.
Top of the 9th. The Braves are winning. AJ Minter is on the bump. AJ Minter allows 1 hit. AJ Minter allows 1 earned run. Luckily, he got out of it. We snuck out of there with a 9-8 victory. But still, I mean, our boy Iglesias is coming back. Hopefully, later this week, he can, continue to do what he did after the trade deadline that we talked about last week. But I just don't understand how we haven't, as an organization, when we look at all of the other quality signings, all the other quality moves we've done, whether it be from drafting and finding guys like Spencer Strider or Michael Harris or Vaughn Grissom or Ronald Acuna Jr., why can't we find a solid closer or middle reliever? Because even if we think about last season, right, Kenley Jansen wasn't very good, and we signed him for a lot of money coming off his season with the Dodgers, and he really kind of did bupkis for us. So I don't know. Do you have a solution? I don't have a solution on this one. I'm more of an offensive mind. To quote Bill Murray from Space Jam, I don't play defense, but I don't know. This is something that confuses me.
Yeah, it's going to be your Achilles heel. And I think when you look at some of these teams that have made runs, and I think you have to look at the case study of the Astros, that is an elite bullpen that is getting the job done and getting meaningful outs. Yeah, there's, Spencer Strider's got 4 wins. Max Fried's got 2 wins. And Bryce Elder's got 2 wins. He's currently on the bump tonight, while they're up currently 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th. In Miami. How many blown saves already does AJ Minter have? I know we talked about this last week where they lost 3 games, 3 different games because of AJ Minter blown saves. And at the end of the day, that's something you can't have. And if you can limit those, and granted, yes, it is a 162 game season, and you're not going to win 162 games. The Yankees winning 125 in 1998 was an absurd number, an absolutely absurd number.
And then whatever the Marlins didn't know won.
Yeah, they are absurd numbers. They are absurd numbers. However, if you can limit mistakes and giving up 9th inning runs, meaningful runs, especially when your starters are giving you 6 or 7, you got to be able to close the door on the back end. And I don't know what that answer is, Gardie. I would love to say I am the defensive mind on this show, but it seems like they're okay for 8 innings. I don't know.
Here's the thing that, and once again, this is why I said I'm confused about this from a management perspective. I feel like the sole thing that we have complained about, and I'm going to be quick about this, is this bullpen issue. And how are you not somehow finding better resolutions to this? Also, if your closer is going to get hurt, which it has consistently over the last 3 years that we've been doing this, why don't you go and find a guy who's a very good 8th, 9th inning guy who can do both of those things? He's not necessarily a closer, but he's a very good 2. Because I think that's the issue. And I don't know if you're in Truist Park or if you're on the road, what do we always say, right? We're a fan show. Yeah, I stole your line. We're a fan show. So if you have any stories at home, on the road, on your couch, in your bed, let us know. We'd love to hear it, and maybe we'll have you on. So with that, Rye, cue the music.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, create a profile in Fan Media Network. Then look for the news page in our website and fan show resources page. Help yourself. We give show hosts a show graphic in team colors, a simple short show format, tips on pre- and post-production, ideas to get fans and guests on your show, Apple News distribution and show sponsorship sales and services to help featured show hosts earn money. Show hosts use our iPhone app to publish their shows. Our website supports Android users.